welcome back to the farm. If you're new here, my name is Nina. I'm a homeschooling, homesteading mom of 4, ages 9 down to 4. And here on my channel, we talk about all things homeschooling, homesteading, and homemaking. So if that's something that interests you, please hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around and get to know us, and we get to know you a little bit better down in the comments as well. Today's video is going to be my November goals. These are just a few goals that I've set for myself and our family for the month of November. That was something that we want to work towards in the month of November. So I don't really have any special categories or anything that I set goals in. It's just things that we need to work on as a family. So I'm going to go back over our my October goals and see how we did. So I write all of my goals in the front of my planner for that month. So to kind of keep me on track and to keep me accountable. So let me flip back over to October where I wrote those down. So chore routine and chore chart is something that I wanted to work on in November. I have that going. It's going really well. I also have my chore chart as a printable, and that's something I'm going to talk about in my November goals, so stay tuned for that. Personal time management, that's gone really well. I've been using my planner a lot more. This tool has helped. I went ahead and got my planner for next year, so I've been writing a ton of stuff down in it, and if it doesn't get written down, we don't do it. So, and if I don't know about things in ahead of time, it's not going to happen. We are so busy with between our kids' activities, our work stuff, school, you name it, we are on the road all the time. So it has been a struggle to try to make sure that we stay on task, stay on time, make sure that we manage our time well. That way we get all of our things done. The next thing that I had for an October goal was to daily Bible study. I have the tools. I have not been doing very good about that. And I'm hoping to change that in the month ahead and also as we move into December. But that is something I still need to work on. I try to work on each goal every month, but sometimes things get busy and I don't always get to it. So sometimes I have to move things to the next month. So that will be a personal goal that carries over onto the month of November. So for my November goals, like I said, still continuing to work on daily Bible study, being accountable for getting up early to get that done before my kids wake up. That's the number one thing that's really hard for me to do is get up early. And it may have to do with what time I'm going to bed. So I probably need to get myself in the bed a little bit sooner than I do. The next thing that I have for a goal for us is school related. So for school related, I really want to focus on individual reading time with my 2 older kids. That has fallen by the wayside. I really need to emphasize reading and reading fluency with my older 2 kids. Liliana, who is my daughter that's in 2nd grade, she's doing really well with that. My oldest son, who is 9, who's kind of 3rd, 4th grade area, he is struggling with that. And so we just need to put that into our daily routine of sitting down for 10, 15 minutes and having them read to me. I read to them. We read back and forth, or ever how we want to make that work. I have tons of the leveled readers. We just need to use them. It's just putting that into practice. We have the tools. We just need to sit down and to do it. The other thing with school is to start going over the basics every morning before we get started. After our morning time, before we get started into our individual subjects, I want our kids to, whether it's writing out addition and subtraction facts, going over flashcards for that, doing multiplication and division facts, going over phonics rules, just going over the basics of things that we may forget about, that we've learned already, that we may forget about, that would be super helpful if they had it fresh in their mind and kind of went over it and over it and over it. So I have flashcards for that. I have notebooks set up for the kids to be able to write their math facts down in each day, and we're just going to go pick whether we're working on our 1 facts or 2 facts or whatever it may be that day, and they just write those out before we get started. So going back and working on the basics is something I really want to work in November. That way, when it comes January and we start afresh with new stuff, because of the way our school year worked. We are kind of finishing out last year's work, and then we will jump into new stuff in January. I have more about that coming in a video later, probably towards the end of December. So, the next thing is YouTube wise. I have kind of stalled out on growth here. I know that a lot of that, it just depends on like the content that I'm putting out and whether it's interesting to other people. So I really want to focus on just being consistent. I'm filming this in a week where I have not put up a video yet. And so I haven't been very consistent this week, but I was doing really good. I had 2 weeks where I was like ahead of the game for a week and a half on videos and had a really good rhythm, and then we got busy and things kind of fell by the wayside. So I want to like ramp that back up into the month of November. My goal is to get it to where I have a month's worth of videos already sitting uploaded on YouTube that are kind of going, and then I'm working on the next month. So right now I'm working on just having like 2 weeks of videos done and uploaded. That way I can be working on the next 2 videos. That way I stay 2 weeks ahead, eventually working up to getting up to a month ahead. Also, I've had several people ask me about printables that I use for my morning menus, and if they can if I can send those to those. So I'm working on getting those into, whether it's Google Docs or like at an Etsy store or Teachers Pay Teachers or something, that way that you guys can go and download those for free. I am working also on having our chore charts available to you for a small price. That can be customized to having your kids' names on them. That's going to come out. I will share that when it is available. But I'm working on that, and I want to work on that and have it finished by the end of November. So that's a goal. I'm working on it. I'm going to set time aside, put it in my planner as time management, and do that. So our last goal is kind of our home goal. If you've been around here for a while, you know that we sold our house back in April. We're in a temporary house now, and we are working towards getting to property that we bought. We have picked our house plans, which I'm super excited about. I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to build this house, but we know the house that we're going to build. Our plans are with the design company right now. They are modifying the plans because I'm picky and particular how I like things, and I change things in every room but the living room. So they are working on those plans for us, and then we should have them back. Let's see, we ordered them, it's been 2-3 weeks ago, so we should have them back in like 3 to 4 weeks. And then we're going to move forward from there. We're trying to decide how we want to go about building the house, whether we want to hire a builder or if we want to try to general contract the house ourselves. We've done that before with a barn dominium that we built years ago. So we have a little bit experience with that, but we've never built an entire house completely by ourselves. But we would not be doing a lot of the work. We would just be subcontracting it out to other people, and we would handle that job ourselves, because we want to make sure things get done right. Daniel and I know enough about construction to know whether corners were cut or mistakes were made or whatever. So I realize as being a homeowner, you can oversee that as far as even if you do hire a builder. But we're just trying to decide what's the best route for us, what's going to be the most cost effective, how we want to go about it, and just praying through that process. But in the meantime, whether we hire a builder or we try to take on this task ourselves, I am putting together a home building notebook. So I've started, and so my goal for November is to kind of keep working on this, get it sectioned off by room, and then start putting things in there of like the finishes that we want, what we want on the walls, what colors we want, what things do we want on the exterior, and just go ahead and have all that stuff planned out. That way, if we do hire a builder, I can hand this over to the builder and be like, that's what I want. And if they have questions, they can refer back to this or either ask me or whatever. And that way, I mean, things change when you're building a house. I've done this before. We've changed our mind different times based upon the cost of things. So I'm not saying this is like stone, but anyway, so this is the house plan that we have picked. It's beautiful. We wanted to go with the traditional farmhouse look, and this is as close to one that we could find that had a master on the main floor. So it's a Max Fulbright design. We ordered it from Architectural Design, but come to find out, Max Fulbright is actually in Georgia, and we could have just went straight to him. But they are actually the design, our floor plans right now are back with the design company, and they are the ones that are redoing the designs for us based upon the drawings that we drew up. So we have the initial house plans. So what's in here right now is my drawing that I did when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do with the house and how we wanted to change it. So my drawings are in here for the main floor, top floor, and the basement. And then we have the original plans that they sent us when we purchased plans. And then we'll get the set of modified plans back in several weeks. So in here, I'm just going to divide. I put a whole bunch of page protectors in it. I'm going to divide up, go room by room, and behind each divider will be pictures of, like I said, finishes and things that we want. So I just want to keep working on that. That way, when it comes time to do it, I don't have to like sit down and try to do it all at one time. Just keep working on a little bit, as little bits, little bits, and little bits. Budget-wise, we do have a few goals for budget. We're just trying to be smart with our money as we can, since we're going into trying to build a house. That is like the thing that is one of the biggest investments that you make in your life, and we're hoping that this is going to be our final, I almost said resting place, but that sounds like somebody died. Our forever home. There we go. Our forever home. So we're trying to just take time and truly think through this, not rush into anything. Make sure that we're prepared. Make sure that we're prepared with what we are building, and that we do things the way that we want to do them. And then also that we're prepared financially as well. We have lots of steps that have to be done between now and actually breaking ground. A lot of that has to do with building plans and things, and then also living situations and animals and all of the things. So there's lots of moving parts and lots of kind of stress things going on behind the scenes that you guys don't really hear about, and probably won't ever. But I do plan on sharing the building process once we start it, and just kind of the process that we took to get there. So stay tuned for that. Who knows when it will come and when we will start, but it is on the horizons at some point in the future. So thank you for joining me for today's video. If you like hearing about our family goals and kind of life updates, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not done so already. That way you don't miss out on any videos coming up in the future. And we will catch you in another video very soon. Bye, guys.